Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to a monster analysis on the newest and latest mythic monster who will be available in the next team race, Kawthor, in the Niflheim Marathon. So hopefully you can use this video to decide whether or not it's worth going and putting in so much effort for this monster. Whether you get this monster unranked, rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, or whether you go all the way and do 125 laps for rank 4. Let's get into it. Baba Yaga was peacefully looking after her potions in her hut when she heard two monsters screaming at each other outside. She came to see what was happening and found Vampira alone crying in her front yard. Baba Yaga asked her what was wrong, and with a bitter voice, Vampira replied, "Mort is dead to me." Literally, I never want to see him again. As she took a beautiful ring off her finger. What? When she calmed down, she noticed a light that was shining not far away. It was a swirly purple smoke suspended in air at some feet from them. "What's that?" asked Vampira. "That's the portal of abomination," said Baba in a low voice. "Nothing good ever comes from it. Also, don't get close, because it will swallow you whole." Really, Vampira stared at it intensely while she played with the ring. Then, with an impulse, she screamed, "Then it can swallow this!" and she threw the ring from afar into the portal. "Stupid girl," said Baba Yaga nervously. "You must never feed or fuel the portal, or the port." But before she could finish the sentence, the portal opened wide and spat the ultimate abomination, one made of amber and hatred, Kawthor. And so that's how this monster came to be. I feel like Baba Yaga is in a lot of different Monster Legends lore. Like, she's connected to almost everything in the lore. Also, just reading the description, I feel like this monster is going to have the abomination trait. So I feel like he's going to be a tank. And I feel like he is going to also... Let's see. There was something else that stuck out to me. So, Portal of Abomination is going to have the abomination trait. He looks very tanky. There was more, but whatever. We'll get into it. So, let's see. I like that SocialPoint moved this to the top now, so now I don't need to go all the way to the bottom. So here you have Kawthor, some of his skills: blood consumption, deals massive water damage. Oh, I mean, he's also going to be able to be an attacker. Like all tanks currently, all tank mythic monsters in the game, he's probably going to be a deadly attacker. Body hardened, heals, monster ingestion. We'll go over the skills in a bit. Let's see, Kawthor is a water tank and attacker with healing skills. He can deal high damage and apply bleed to an enemy, then heal himself by 20%. He can also heal himself and cast taunting one move, that's nice, or deal damage and apply regen to himself. With one of his skills, he'll sacrifice an ally to gain triple damage and positive effect protection. Okay, so that's cool. It's not cool that you kill an ally, but the fact that this monster can actually buff himself and that positive effect protection so it can't easily be cleansed, that's pretty awesome. And as far as killing an ally, you know, you can just resurrect nowadays. You have revival relics, so it's not too bad for a triple damage positive effect protection. So yeah, he's gonna be, even though he's a tank, just like the previous monsters, just like Erza, just like Unspeakable, even though he's a tank, he's probably gonna be a deadly attacker. Kawthor has an evolving trait. At rank 0, he's immune to freeze. At rank 1, he becomes abomination. Whoa! So he's immune to freeze and possession, two of the main deny skills in the game, two of the main control skills in the game. At rank 3, he gains regeneration. Whoa! Of all the mythic monsters, he has the best trait. Just trait alone, must have mythic monster. And he's water, so that's nice because currently the other water mythic monster was behind a paywall, Abysmus. So it's nice that this monster is actually available just in the race like that. And then, yeah, that's what we have on him. He is a tanky monster. So without further ado, let's actually analyze his stats and his skills. So life stats, 60,320. From all the mythic monsters, this is actually tied for the 4th highest life stat, and it's tied with monsters like Unspeakable, Daigo, and Cat UFO. There's 3 monsters that have a higher life stat than Kawthor. That would be Armorclaw and Abysmus, that have 62,732, and Erza that has 61,828. Nonetheless, a very tanky life stats. Then we have power, 5896. This is actually the 2nd highest power stat. So insanely high life stat and insanely high power stat. The only other mythic monster that has a higher power stat than Kawthor would be Aromel, one of the first mythic monsters to be introduced into the game. And this actually, by the way, is also tied with Unspeakable, who also has 5896. And then speed stats, here is where it goes negative. 4488, this is officially the slowest monster from the mythic monsters. Currently, it used to be Unspeakable and Armorclaw with 4576, while now Kawthor is slower. Which makes sense, right? Typically when a monster is super tanky, they tend to be super slow. But, I mean, that doesn't excuse the fact that this monster has a high power and a high life. And an amazing trait. Like, I mean, just think about the monsters that are currently in the game. Cat UFO can stun. So Cat UFO would be able to stun Kawthor. But in terms of, if you're battling Abysmus, Abysmus is not going to be able to freeze you. If you're battling a Van Decken, he's not going to be able to possess you. And those are two monsters that unless you, like, well, I mean, Van Decken was a quest monster or one of those breedable quest monsters, so a lot of players don't have them, and Abysma's being behind a paywall. It's nice that this monster is going to be introduced in a race where even if you get him unranked, the freeze immunity at least will help, and if you can just take him to rank 1, you can already counter 2 other mythic monsters in the game, and if you can get this monster at rank 3, the self-life regen, that is awesome. You're already super tanky, so the fact that you can give yourself life regen, so even if an enemy monster puts DOTs on you, torture skills, you at least can recover 25% of your HP. That'll definitely offset it. That's very nice. In terms of your relics, you can hold an amulet relic and a trap relic, and I mean, you can just do so much with that, especially the trap, oblation trap. What's the other one? Not Tygus trap, Nabuline's trap, right? For a lot of stamina drain. Amulet, Charizard's amulet if you have it. So I mean, obviously it could have been better. Like, considering he's a tank, I was thinking maybe he was gonna hold armor, maybe a shield relic, but I mean that's still fine. In terms of bugs, he's in the Winter, Undead, and Underworld bug. And with that being said, let's get into the skills. And I already see something very powerful. Careless Laceration deals heavy water damage to an enemy. 45 damage, 0 cooldown, 0 stamina cost. Wow. Is this like the Hukuai of... This is almost like the Hukuai, right? Hukuai is immune to... Well, Hukuai has anticipation, but Hukuai is immune to control. This monster is semi-immune to control with the freeze and abomination immunity. He's just lacking the stun immunity, but he has a 0 cooldown, 0 stamina cost skill, 45 damage. So, not only does he counter Abysmas, and does he counter... who does the freeze again? Oh, Abysmas does freeze, and Van Decken with possession. You also counter Guy Daigo, who's also behind a paywall, behind the April Golden Legends Pass, with this powerful 0 cooldown skill, and even if you get your stamina drained, you can still attack. And that's super useful because there's so many monsters in the game that can stamina drain you, or so many relics in the game that can stamina drain you and leave you with nothing. Now, I imagine he has other 0 cooldown skills, but what makes this so unique is the fact that it is so powerful, right? 45 heavy water damage. That is very nice. An Eye for an Eye is your next skill. Applies skill mirror to itself. And, I mean, hopefully you've seen my gameplay with Erder and with any tank monster, right? The cool thing you can do about tank monsters is you can give them like a speed and a life and a life. You can do some build like that where you can go first, activate the skill mirror, or even if you don't go first, like, because this monster has freeze and abomination immunity, the likelihood of him getting denied isn't that great. So you just have Kawthor go, you activate that skill mirror, and then the enemy, or actually, strength, life, some combo like that, where even if the enemy, and then your allies have team speed, if the enemy attacks you, thanks to the skill mirror, you're going to reflect the damage back at the enemy, and you're going to reflect it with that damage output, right? Because you're going to have the strength, because skill mirror is better than damage mirror. Like, that's what I didn't like so much about Erder. Or was it Unspeakable? It was one of them. One of them gave yourself double damage and damage mirror, and I'm like, why couldn't it have been skill mirror? So you can actually reflect the attack. So, can you just imagine you fight Van Decken, especially if it's the AI, Van Decken does AoE possession, and you have your skill mirror activated, bam, you reflect the AoE possession and you don't get possessed. That's awesome. So, for this monster, for Kawthor, an Eye for an Eye really works. Moving on to tier 2, we have Frenzer Strength. Kills one ally, applies triple damage to itself for one turn, applies positive effect protection to itself. So here's that skill that will give you triple damage. And I mean, what can I say? You kill an ally, which is so negative, but you do give yourself triple damage. However, it only lasts for one turn, and you do apply positive effect protection. So if you have Miseris, who is another mythic monster that has reviving skills, you know this can actually work out because you can kill an ally, give yourself triple damage set up for the next turn, and then you can resurrect whoever died. Especially if you're facing other mythic monsters. Mythic monsters currently don't have the ability to remove positive effects twice. There are some mythic monsters that can remove positive effects. Who comes to mind? Tiny comes to mind, and Froma comes to mind, but that's only one time, so you'll still have your triple damage. So this can definitely be utilized. And if you imagine Kawthor, imagine you're facing a Kawthor that gives himself triple damage by killing an ally, and Miseris just resurrects that ally. You are going to be so scared of this monster because you're not going to be able to remove that triple damage. So unless you can kill this monster or deny him, you are in for some trouble. And can you kill him or deny him when he has freeze immunity and possession immunity? I don't think so. That's going to be tough. And he's super tanky, right? Wow. Moving on. Oh, I also wonder, kills one ally. I wonder if the monster you target, if he has evasion, if the monster will die. If it has space time, I think with space time it'll probably die. But I wonder particularly with evasion if the monster will die. Or if you have a full life shield. I wonder if the monster will die, so that's definitely going to be worth testing when this monster is released. Moving on, we have Monster Ingestion. Why does it feel like that skill could be the one that kills an ally? Deals heavy water damage to all enemies, applies life regen to itself. So here we have a 45 damage AoE, so like Careless Laceration, but AoE version, and you give yourself life regen. So even if that rank 3 status caster life regen disappears, you have a way to reapply life regen. This has a 2-turn cooldown, pretty low stamina cost, I would say 36, and 45 damage. I mean, again, just like against any Megaton monster, absolute beast, absolute killer. That is a lot of damage, and the fact that you give yourself life regen, that is very nice. And then we have Body Hardened, heals itself by 50%, applies taunt to itself. I mean, this is nice, the fact that you can taunt and then also heal yourself. So if you've taken damage, that damage is gone, you can apply the taunt, and then later on you can apply the skill mirror, right? So now single target attacks are directed towards you and you have skill mirror, or if an enemy does an AoE skill, you can reflect that. That's pretty nice as well. And there's also a way to utilize the positive effect protection in synergy with the skill mirror and the taunt. I'm assuming taunt will last for like 3 turns, so that's pretty good. And then Bloody Consumption deals massive water damage, 65 damage, holy. Applies bleed to an enemy, heals itself by 20%. So yeah, this monster is definitely tanky. He has ways to heal. He can do 50% heal, 20% heal. At the same time, he can dish out a lot of damage. 65 damage plus bleeding on a 1-turn cooldown. That is very nice. He has the capacity to give himself triple damage. I don't realistically think that skill will be run as often as I think it'll be run. Careless Laceration I can see running. He definitely has the skill set to either be a designated attacker or a designated tank with skill mirror capabilities. Now, I will say, what sets this monster apart from Erza and Armaclaw is the fact that those two monsters I just named, and I think Unspeakable as well, they start the game off with taunt, so that gives them an advantage. Whereas Kawthor, even though he is a tank, he doesn't start the game off with taunt. So you can still choose to target whoever you want to target, but this is still a monster that's definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially because he's going to be a team race monster, especially because players are going to be getting him rank 3, rank 4, heck, even rank 2. The fact that you already have that Freeze Abomination, I think that's really all you need. If you can get this monster at rank 1, he's going to be a fantastic mythic monster. I'd say definitely invest in this monster. I see him being ran as an attacker a lot, and he's going to be a scary monster to work with. And look at his ultimate. You're already dead. Deals heavy water damage, very heavy water damage, and possession. For his ultimate, he has a deny skill. This is a strong mythic monster. And again, even though he has the lowest speed stat from the mythic monsters, the fact that players are going to be getting him at rank 3, rank 4, and whatnot, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's going to be quite scary for sure. So if you ask me, I would say this is definitely a must-have mythic monsters. I gotta say, no other mythic monster has impressed me probably as much as Kawthor, and it's mostly that trait that just stands out so much. The fact that you are countering everything. Actually, you're countering cooldown activation essentially, right? And even with Bloody Consumption, you have a 1-turn cooldown. That's not bad. But cooldown activation you don't need to worry about. Freeze you don't need to worry about, and possession you don't need to worry about. So stun is really the only thing you need to worry about. I mean, heck, you can partner this monster up with a Warmaster Remntar, and now you have the stun immunity as well. There's so many combos, there's so many things that can be done with this monster. Partner him up with a Remntar, you're immune to special damage, you can't take damage from special base attacks, and you can skill mirror from the start of the battle. Oh my goodness, all the combos are amazing. So with that being said, if you ask me, I would say this is definitely a must-have mythic monster. So with that being said, best of luck to all of you in the team race. I suggest you talk with your team, communicate with your team, and figure out how many laps are you going to be going for, and how much gems are you willing to put up for this race. With that being said, I'm Warmaster Gaming. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this mythic monster in the comments below. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.